Pamela LaPointe, your wildly vibrant WildFit coach. And I am here because, let me tell you about how frustrated I am about trying to find bouillon or broth, whether it's chicken broth, beef broth, or vegetable broth, without sugar in it. These are some of the things that I used to use before I learned about how bad sugar is for you. They are all from my local store, and they all have sugar in some form as a major ingredient. It's crazy. And I really couldn't find anything. So I just kind of created a recipe, and it's been working for me for a long time now, well over a year. So I make my own vegetable broth, and I am almost out because I have been making a ton of soups, a ton of broths. So it's just a powder that I make, my vegetable broth, and I'll tell you how I start, okay? I use my food processor, and I just grind up, I buy dehydrated vegetables. Now, I can get these, as you can see, in bulk from my natural food store. You can buy them online. I live in the United States, so I don't know about other countries and what you would look for and what you're searching for, but it's just 100% dried vegetables, okay? There's no fillers, there's no additives, there's no artificial flavors, colors, or anything like that, okay? So it's best if you can find straight vegetables, and I'm not a big fan of potatoes. Potatoes are a part of the nightshade family, and it's not something that we should be having too much of. So try to find a mix that isn't loaded with dried potatoes, all right? And so I'm gonna just start with this mix that I bought in bulk. It has carrots, red pepper, a whole lot of different vegetables, and then I am going to add some different spices, and I'm going to add a hefty amount of nutritional yeast. So like I said, all I do is I use my food processor. Just dump it in. I like to make sure I'm going to have enough room in here. So I'm just using my regular food processor with the S-blade, okay? And this is probably a bit too much, but I'll just make extra broth. So I'll just put a little. Now I like it oniony. Don't tell my husband. I like it oniony and garlicky. So I added already a little bit of extra dried onion and dried garlic, but I will now add a little bit more of each. I'm looking for my spices. I don't know where they are. Onion and garlic. Good thing it's a recording, okay? Onion and garlic. I just buy regular ones, and I'm just gonna mix in a little bit of that. I did already add some extra dried onion and some extra dried garlic into here. Now, you see this is not really a recipe. This is a make it up as you go. So whatever you have is going to be fine. The base is just going to be the pureed vegetables. And then dehydrated, and then once you add water, you'll be all set. So my next other major ingredient though is nutritional yeast. I just put this in, it just seems to add a little bit of texture and a little bit of flavor to it. I will add a lot. So probably for about this much, about a third of a cup. Then, this is kind of the fun part, because what I do is I open up my spice drawer and I take out pretty much anything that needs to be used up, because spices really shouldn't be in your spice drawer for more than a year, year and a half. They expire. So anything that's been in there for a little bit that you need to finish up, that's a good thing to put in there. Now, some of the things you're not gonna wanna put in there are some of the stronger spices. You're not gonna wanna put like cinnamon or chipotle or cumin or ginger or cloves, any of the strong spices, but any of the like Italian spices. Thyme is a great thing. Tarragon. I have a little bit of extra herb in there, so I'm gonna throw some of that in because it's been sitting in my cupboard for a little bit. I don't have much marjoram, but I'm gonna put a little bit in there. I have some extra herbs de Provence. I love this stuff. It's a good mixture. And I am going to add just a little bit of chili powder because I do like it a little zesty, and it's not coming out very fast, so let's see if I can open this up. No, I do not have measurements. It's okay. You can't go wrong. Just use what you've got, and just don't use anything that's a real strong spice. So I am going to add in a little bit of that marjoram. Not too much. Any spices at all. Now, there's no salt in here, and salt is quite a large component of vegetable broth. So I am going to add a little bit of salt in. I use natural sea salt. Not too much. You can always add more when you're making your soups. What else? I'm going to add in a little of the, or just clean out what you got, what needs to be used up. I'm going to add in some thyme. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And my very favorite spice is tarragon. I love tarragon. So I'm going to add a bunch of that. That's my favorite. And then all we do is blend it up. A little bit of salt. I have some paprika too. It needs to be used up, so I might add a little bit of that in there too. It's been in my cupboard for a little bit. It needs to be finished up. Then just turn it on. Just put the cover on, and we are just going to mix this up. Excellent. Just round it right up into a powder. Then I will pour it into my container. It looks a little bit different this time because it's a little different every time. And then all I do is I take just as you would like a regular bouillon or a broth, you would just take a teaspoon and mix it in with boiling water with a teaspoon to a cup, a little bit more maybe, and then use that as your base. And it has no sugar, it has no additives, you know exactly what's in it, and it's just one of my very favorite things. So thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen in Anchorage, Alaska. My name is Pamela LaPointe. I am your wildly vibrant WildFit coach. And if there's any other recipes that you're looking for, be sure to just reach out and ask away. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me.